I send myself any emails? I sent myself any emails yesterday? No, I didn't. I guess we look at those already. All right, we're doing this one. Hold on, this one open. Oh yes, good morning everybody. Good morning. Hello, good morning. She's on time today. Yes, we are, yeah. Is it true that SCOTUS can now arrest him? I have not heard that, but we can dig into everything. We can dig into everything today. I believe that yesterday there were talks of, I believe like another judge said something about contempt of court coming. It is always going to be an interesting day with this administration. Interesting, I mean, violently ridiculous. All right, the student loan bill is just wrong. Yeah, the enforcing the student loan stuff is it's crazy. But I think I truly believe that is just being waved in front of everybody to push this conversation away from Kilmar Brego Garcia and everything that's going on in El Salvador. I think they're trying to push the conversation away from the stuff going on in the Pentagon. And so I think that is why they're being like, we're going to start taking your student loans now. It's like, y'all were already going to do that, Obviously, the initial reaction is like, how can they do it? But it's like, they were already going to do that. You know what I mean? It was always going to come. And let's be honest, what wages? What have we been talking about for months? What wages? Go ahead, garnish what wages? Everybody's broke already. Okay? Everybody's broke already. So, like, what are we talking about here? Everybody's broke already. Everything costs too much already. It is what it is. Happy Wednesday, everyone. What's up, Patriot? How you doing, man? Let's go through the list. Let's say hello to some of the people who are in here. Christy, good morning. Christine the Dawn. I'm not sure what that is. I want to get it right. But Gem 330, how you doing? You made it on time today. Tracy Tiz, hello. Monty Martin, how you doing? It's me, 7271. That's all right. Respect. Monique Gilliam, hello. Lacey W. Smith, hello. Good morning. Good morning. Sweet as Pearl in quotation marks. I think that's pretty clever. I like that. Good morning. How is it? Just Christine. Okay. I will make sure to get that right moving forward, I hope everybody's doing okay this morning. I hope everybody is feeling, feeling all right. It's hard to say, I hope you're feeling good, because we know that it's like, there's a constant psychological warfare going on from the White House. But, if you can do your best to preserve your mental health, put yourself in good spirits, that is what's most important. If you're in here, please hit the like button. Thank you for joining. Hit the like button. It does help the live. It helps it grow. If the sound is good, let me know if the sound is good. If you need me to do something about the sound, I have my personal mic here. I can switch it up if I need to go in that direction. But if everything is good, let me know. Throw a lime wedge in the chat. Appreciate that. We'll talk a little bit more about that. We are going to talk a little bit more about that earnings call. We're going to talk about the Muskrat finally going public. Going public and being like, hey, I don't like these tariffs. You know what I mean? The breakup is public now. It's public now. Of course, you're gonna have people are gonna play it down. Oh, it's not a big deal. It's public. All right, it's public. It's public. You know, anytime somebody gets in front of a camera who's been working close to this guy and they're like, I don't think that I like what he's doing. It's public now. It is public. And now they are going to definitely have some behind closed doors conversations. And I believe his whole getting out of Doge will be coming quicker than, well, it's almost May 5th anyway. I think he's out of there no matter what. So they are done their best to distance themselves from the muskrat. You've heard they haven't really talked about, I haven't heard the president whisper his name. I have not heard them even whisper this man's name since that election was lost in Wisconsin. Y'all see that? Have y'all noticed that? Y'all notice that? They don't talk about the muskrat. The muskrat kind of talks about the president. They literally act like they don't know each other. Ever since he was the reason that they lost that Supreme Court seat in Wisconsin. Like they don't, they were like, you're out. And that's how it goes. That is politics that is politics for you right there. American politics, okay? Especially when it comes to these, people that put money in and they just start making a whole lot of noise, especially when it comes to Washington, when it comes to people who make a whole lot of noise in Washington. As soon as you are no longer able to serve their agenda, you're out. All right? You're out. You're out. You can be the richest man in the world. You're out. Okay? Now, we're not going to embarrass you like we would embarrass somebody lower on the totem pole. All right? We're not going to publicly lambaste you until he's gone. When he's actually out of Doge, watch how the rhetoric about what his impact on the White House changes. Just watch. Just watch. When he officially leaves, I give it maybe a week. I give it maybe a week. No, I'm not even trying to be like facetious. This is not hyperbole. Maybe a week before they start talking about how they didn't agree with everything he was doing. Maybe a week. Y'all know how he goes, right? Y'all know how it starts. Trump starts by saying, I don't know. I haven't heard. I don't know who's that. Who are you talking about? And then from then on, it's just, here we go. That's what happens. He starts going, I don't know. Who are you? I don't know. Elon. Well, he was here, but he wasn't really here. He wasn't really here. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, them shells start looking again. Your post about the 4-year-old in court. That was very upsetting. Very, very upsetting. Children are showing up to immigration court and they're told that they have to represent themselves. No lawyer. Children as young as 4 years old, and they're sitting in front of an immigration court, talking to a judge. That's disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. That's absolutely disgusting. Shady Vance is the tariff czar now? Yeah, because they're going to make him the fall guy. All he does is make everyone else the fall guy. He makes decisions, then he goes, oh, yeah, his fault. His fault. And you wonder why all the people under him act the same way. You know what I mean? All people under him act the same way. Why you got Pete Keg's Breath. I like Keg's Breath. I think somebody said Keg's Breath, and I've been running with that name. I really like it. Every time he gets it, this dude, man, all right, I think this is the first thing I want to dig into. I watched that Fox News interview that he did, all right? What? I mean, I'm not going to say stop putting this dude in front of a camera because he is actually incriminating himself when he speaks. It's not, you absolutely incriminating himself when he speaks. He is embarrassing the military on a level that, like, I'm telling you, I am telling you, as the son of 2 military parents, all right? Grew up on a few military, lived in Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska, Offutt Air Force Base. You know what I mean? We lived in North Carolina for a little bit, not too far out of Fayetteville, back when it was Fort Bragg and then it turned into Fort Liberty. I guess it's Fort Bragg again, whatever, you know what I mean? we lived in Virginia. My mom was working like HR for like the Navy. Then we lived in Virginia. You know what I mean? So just a lot of military people I've been around them. I've been around them, and they are not they not happy. I'll tell you that right now. And every time he gets in front of a camera, they get so angry. Pete Hegseth is not a military person. He's not. Yeah, okay, I get it. He was in the National Guard. He's not a military person, okay? He's a clown. That's what he is. He's an absolute clown. It's a circus. This dude is a circus clown, okay? Barnum and Bailey, that is who he is. He is. Fox News actor. Yes, a Fox News actor. That's very aptly put. Actor, because Fox News is entertainment news. And it's not even real news. Rupert Murdoch himself said, if you have a brain, I wouldn't expect you to be like if you have any sense, I wouldn't expect you to believe in what's being put out on Fox News. The man who owns it said that. Okay? All right. But this dude, Pete Hegseth is quietly, he is embarrassing everybody. The military don't like that. Let me tell you that right now. The military don't like that. They don't like that one bit. Look at this. Look at this. Tell me this man is not absolutely fighting for his life right now. This is absolutely insanity. All right, here we go. I'm going to play it. Let's pause it here. Let's pause it here. Let's go here. All right. I'm going to pause this. Turn the volume up here and the volume up here. There we go. Now look at this. Look at this. Look at this man fighting for his life. Okay. Just that face alone. I don't even have to hit play. Just that face alone. You're just like, bro, this dude is absolutely...
Leaking, who've been pushed out of the building, are now attempting to leak and sabotage the president's agenda. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and friends to defend himself against allegations. This is what the media does.
His own kids.
His
own kids.
And then they try to slash and burn people.
I gotta say, there's hope for the future. When I look at when I look at Pete Hegseth's kids, when I look at Hegseth's kids, I gotta say, there's hope for the future. For real, because they're like, oh man. When I look at his kids, I am like, this is hilarious. These kids are like, get me away from this guy. I can't do it. I can't do it. No, what's that? Oh, and they know, by the way. By the way, Fox News knows, okay? You can call this a Freudian slip all you want. They know. Look, they know what the deal is.
Here to set the record straight himself, former secretary.
Former secretary. I mean, you know what I mean? They got the intel. They got the intel. You know they do. Former secretary. I mean, current secretary. Current. He's still current, right? Current secretary. But this guy right here is. Oh, here we go. This is what I was looking for right here. This is what I was looking for.
Based in reality. So, Mr. Secretary, I guess I can conclude this. We know some bizarre situation with Michael Waltz happened with the first time the whole thing with the Signal app came out. You believe this came out, they said it was called Team Huddle, because one of the people who work for you, one of the three who no longer are there, leaked this out as a way to get back at you? That's right, Brian. When you dismiss people who you believe are leaking classified information, and again, the investigation is ongoing and that will take time, and when the evidence produced it will go to DOJ, why would it surprise anybody, Brian, if those very same people keep leaking to the very same reporters whatever information they think they can have to try to sabotage the agenda of the president or the secretary? So once a leaker,
always a leaker, often a leaker. And so we look for leakers because we take it very seriously. And we will do the investigation, and if those people are exonerated, fantastic.
So you don't know if they're leakers. And then it's closing. The walls are closing in. All right, walls are closing in. Y'all know what it is when y'all be like y'all. First whiskey leaker. I like that. First of all, the squeaky voice. The squeaky voice. That's a telltale sign. What these people? Okay, all right. These people. Every time he is getting more and more, he is just getting paranoid. Today's the, that's crazy. There's another clip where he's just like, people think that I'm just in here going to cocktail parties and doing. It's bad. It is bad. All right. So that is going to every single day something else comes out. You know what I mean? Now, you can sit here. I saw you comment, Greg. I saw you say he's not going anywhere. You can sit here and say that, but I'm telling you, he ain't gonna make it. He's not gonna make it. He's not gonna make it. Get ready for new Secretary of Defense proceedings very, very soon. All right, because he's not sitting there. All right, you got to think the people who he is supposedly in charge of, there are people further down the totem pole with way more experience and education in military efforts than this man. All right, let's just be real. The Secretary of Defense is somebody who sits and presides over like the Joint Chiefs of Staff, men who have been in the military, been involved in military actions and things for their entire lives, men who have gone to military academies, people who have gone and learned about like literal warfare, you know what I mean? People who have been in war multiple times, you know what I mean? And then this dude is just showing up here just, leakers, we're getting rid of leakers. Let me tell you something, hard-nosed military people do not go on TV and say things like, we're bringing the war dogs back to the pen. This is not Call of Duty, all right? Like, seriously, you don't treat this like Call of Duty. That's the problem, all right? You have quite literally the president, who is nothing more than just a spoiled kid who basically got, it's like he's no different than a rich 13-year-old who's playing Call of Duty. Him and Barron might as well be the same person. And then all the people in his cabinet, the exact same. You know what I mean? It's like you don't have the experience, you don't have the knowledge. He didn't understand he didn't even know what the term was for a jag off. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah, jag off is what we call, that's the joke that we use when we make fun of it. A jag off is, no. And then he fires all the jags. Fires them all. You know what I mean? Accountability is back at the White House. Fire all the inspector generals. Accountability is back at the Pentagon. Fire all the jags. Okay. All right. We're looking at merit-based hires. You get rid of the leader of the Joint Chiefs of Staff who has the most experience on that Joint Chiefs of Staff. What's it called? Charles Brown? Charles Brown, look up his military record. That man has been that man is like it's like if he fought in World War II, he'd be a one-man Tuskegee air, like he'd just be by himself. He could handle all the Tuskegee air by himself. That is what his record was. You know what I mean? That was the guy leading the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Fired him, DEI. All right, you don't know anything. And I get that people want to push this notion that like the entire military is just as like racist and prejudiced as every other institution. There is a lot of that in the military, but let me tell you something. Minorities are overrepresented in the military. One of the few places where minorities are overrepresented, especially black people are overrepresented, is in the military. Our U.S. military, all right? So, you want to talk? How you gonna handle that? How are you gonna handle that? Didn't know what cushion? Yeah, exactly. The ASEA, yeah, I'll even be honest with you, Keezy. I don't know what countries are in the AS. I don't know, but guess what? I am a civilian. Okay, it's not my job to know. It's not supposed to be in my purview. The Secretary of Defense, I need him to know that. Okay, I need the Secretary of Defense to know that. I need the people in the executive branch who hold these positions to not give me the feeling that, you know what, maybe I should just take that job. That is not a good feeling. If you're looking at these people at any time, and this goes back to the arrogance of white nationalism, you know what I mean? The arrogance of that particular ideology, to look at a position and just be like, I could do that. You have no idea what entails. Caucasic, yeah, I love that word, Caucasic. Like, just to look at a position and be like, I'm fine. That's how the president thinks. The president was watching Barack Obama. He got mad that he made fun of him. He goes, I can do what you do. Looked at Joe Biden pull us out of a pandemic that Donald Trump essentially facilitated by getting rid of the pandemic relief team back in 2018. He facilitated a lot of it. I can do that. I can do that. He pulled the economy. I'm good with the economy. I can do that. This is a man who does not understand the value of a dollar. All right? Billionaire, call him what you want. He does not understand the value of a dollar. He doesn't. That's why he thinks money is just going to just come out of nowhere. That's why he's doing tariffs and being like, we're making billions and billions every day. When, what? He doesn't understand the value of a dollar. He doesn't understand the meaning of building something from the ground up. You know what I mean? None of these people understand that. The most qualified person in this cabinet is probably Scott Bessent, and he's been complicit to everything that's going on. So literally everybody else in the cabinet, what qualifications do they have? Kristi Noem, she's not qualified to lead Homeland Security. She's not. Maybe Marco Rubio has some credentials under his belt, but he's also complicit. The people who actually are qualified to hold their positions are complicit to the idiots in the other part of the administration. Sean Duffy leading transportation. The dude was hosting MTV. What? Dude was on it. Dude was on The Real World. Are you? That's Sean. What? He's over here talking about groceries. Yeah, he just learned what groceries are. Groceries. What a beautiful word. Groceries. The man's never going out and shop groceries. You don't go and shop groceries, you know what I mean? Scott, the urban housing and urban development, I believe. The second time he has put a black man in front of housing, urban, and development because in his mind, urban means black. That's who, urban, black guy. Last person who ran urban development was Ben Carson. A doctor. What does a doctor know about housing? No, black guy. That's what he does. I am all for, when we talk about the token, I am all for these tokens getting spent, by the way. I just want to talk about, I know I made that video yesterday. I am all for these tokens getting spent. But, because it's about time. It's about time. They are all getting, they spending them faster than they can find new ones. They spending them tokens fast, bro. They let them out. They can't keep them tokens in their pocket. You know how they used to say when you was a kid, my grandma and my mom, they both used to say there's a hole in your pocket because you can't there's a hole in your pocket because you can't keep money in. That's how it is about them tokens. They can't. And the tokens, you know what I mean? Did you hear about the executive orders being tied to cultural appreciation months? Yeah, the executive orders that are... So, one of the things about the executive orders, right, when he puts them out there and he says, we can't celebrate this, we can't honor this, the only area he has true power to do that are federal buildings, federally owned, buildings that are tied to the executive branch. You know what I mean? He can segregate the bathrooms in the White House. You know what I'm saying? He can do that. Sure, segregate the bathrooms in the White House. All y'all white anyway. So it's you know what I'm saying? But in terms of enforcing these laws across the nation, they can't do that. And that is why I talk about, that is why I keep talking about the complete what baffles me, that's why it baffles me how the business sector has sort of fallen into place and like fallen in line on some of all the DEI stuff, what's happening with Target and everything. That's what baffles me. Because the last time he was president, even with the celebrities, so we don't talk about celebrities, the last time he was president, you guys all remember, right? Everybody, especially in like the business world, like knew he was bad, knew what he was doing was bad, and would say it. Because he doesn't know what he's doing. You know what I mean? They would say that. You know what I mean? Celebrities would constantly be like, yeah, I don't like that. Now all of a sudden, this is what I don't understand. He hasn't changed. But all of a sudden, this particular term, you got Vince Vaughn, all these people, Shaq, all these people, Snoop Dogg, just like, no, I feel him now. You know what I mean? These businesses are just like, no, we're going to ride with him now because he's like, what changed? What changed? Let's be real. You know? Obviously, we know there's deeply entrenched racism. We can talk about that. We can talk about the deeply entrenched prejudice that's always been in this country. But what changed? You know? What changed? That's what it was. You know? I mean, I don't understand like the difference in the thought process of all these people now because he's back. You know what I mean? And they're just like, no, we're all for it. You know he's doing stuff. You know he's committing crimes against humanity. You know he's shipping people out there. You know what I mean? And now all of a sudden they're just like, no, we're with it. We're with it. Let these children sit in front of a court without representation. Yeah, that's right. Logic, right, Greg? I seen your comments. Let these children sit in there and representation. Let these people get rounded up off the street. I saw a video yesterday of a man in Charlottesville, Virginia. I believe Alex Plank is the creator who made. Alex Plank is a really good creator on here. If you guys don't follow Alex Plank, you really should. He is very good at breaking. He also breaks news like everybody else, but he's a very good creator. But he's talking about in Charlottesville, Virginia, where a man was approached by 3 dudes, plain clothes, would not identify themselves. There were people who were trying to stand in their way, women standing in their way, protecting the man that they were trying to round up. And these dudes threw the women out of the way so they could get to the man and handcuff him. Who are these people? You know what I mean? Who are these people that we're not, you know what I'm saying? What is that? And then you got all these people just like, yeah, no, I'm with this. I'm with this. What are you talking about? What do you mean I'm with? I just don't, you know, that's what I just don't get. Yeah, probably J6ers. Yeah, most likely. They're just like, and they're just walking up and they put them in an unmarked car, just took them away. And you're just like, what, I that's what I'm saying. A lot of people, it's more than just politicians. I feel like we need to pay attention to all of these people who absolutely just were complicit with all of this. Hands down. You know what I mean? Because I'm telling you, there is no world that exists where this dude is going to hold on to power forever. You know what I mean? Hold on to power forever. I'll even give him that we'll do the dance with this guy for the 4 years. There's no way in the world he's holding his power forever. Especially at the rate that he's going, at the rate that he's pissing everybody off. I'm going to tell you like this, the first people, I've been saying it over and over again, the first only 4 years. Yeah, right. Exactly. You're saying only 4 years. That's a big admission right there. That is a big admission right there. Only 4 years. That's where I'm telling. That's where a lot of people in MAGA have gotten now. You know what I mean? A lot of the self-proclaimed like sensible Republicans now are just going, you know, it's just gonna be 4 years, whatever. I've seen people go, you know what, we had to suck it up with Biden, so you got to suck it up with. This stuff was not happening under Joe. It was not happening. It was not happening under Joe Biden. It was not happening under Joe Biden. Okay. And so don't come to me. Don't come over here with all of that whole like, oh, it was just as bad. He was just as big. He was just, no, none of this was happening. Absolutely none of this was happening. Y'all just sit here but it's just like all the people just like being complicit with this, being like, yeah, no, I'm with it. I like this guy. I like it. Just staying naive to the fact that like if it's the rich people doing it, they're just staying naive to the fact that like well, it's not going to be that big of a deal and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, this man is going to destroy a lot. This man's going to destroy a lot of stuff. That it's only 4 years. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's only 4 years. It's only 4 years. Only 4 years. That's where they're at now. And so we just got. I'm just saying, we just got to keep it. I'm just saying, John Leguizamo made it very good. They want to start making lists. I think we should start making lists too. I think we should start making lists too. Y'all want to make a list? Let's make a list. I think it's time to start working on a list. You know what I'm saying? I think it's time. You know what? Open up a Word document right now. Let's start working on some lists. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want a list? I'm about to make a list. We doing lists. You know what I'm saying? We going 3 categories: primary, prosecute, prison. That's my PPP list right there. All right. Primary, prosecute, prison. All right. That's who we gonna do. All right. And we gonna put people under these categories. Y'all want to play this game? Make some lists. You know what I mean? Who we gonna primary? Who we gonna prosecute? Who we gonna put in prison? All right. PPP right there. Y'all want to work on the PPP list? We can make a little segment every day. We can do like a work on the PPP list. I think that's fun. Let's start. Where do we start? First of all, MTG primary. I love it. Let's start there. All right. I'm really typing this down. I swear to God, I'm typing this down right now. Okay. I'm telling primary, and I want y'all to know people can be on multiple categories. So if you want people in multiple categories, we can absolutely do that. I see Chuck Schumer. Okay, I like this. Yep, both sides of the aisle. Let's do it. I seen Hakeem Jeffries in there. All right, for primary, let's see here. Hey, insider trader Nancy. She do be insider trading. She do be insider trading. You know what I mean? Let's primary her out of there. You know what I'm saying? I'm with it. You know what I mean? Jesse Walters. Isn't Jesse Walters the host on Fox News? Or Jesse? Oh, that's Jesse Waters. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? I saw. Let me see here. I see Fetterman. Yeah, we going Fetterman. I'm getting Tom Cotton out of here. Oh yeah, Tom Cotton, he on my list. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting Tom Cotton out of here. Whiskey Leaks prison. I love it. We're not even going to call him by his name. I'm putting him Whiskey Leaks prison. Whiskey Leaks prison. Oh yeah, we got it. I'm going to put Orange Man prison. Orange Man prison. You know what I'm saying? I knew Gregory was coming in here. I knew he was coming in here with that. Greg, where should we put y'all want to put Gregory in prison? Greg, the people have spoken. Yeah, the people have spoken. That's it. The people have spoken. I wasn't gonna put y'all. I wasn't gonna put y'all on the list, but they voting. You got democracy. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, yeah, we will add to this list for sure. For sure. All right, let me get some people in here. Hold on, I got Pam Bondi in there. All right. Seen a couple, all right. You know what I mean? The list can go on forever, all right? It can go on forever. Mitch McConnell is in a prison of his old age. So I'm going to let... Mitch McConnell is in a prison of his old age. By the way. Lindsey Graham is a great primary candidate. You're right. Mitch McConnell is in... Man, Gregory Jones, you really love going after black women. I've only seen you mention I've only seen you mention black people, by the way. I've only seen Gregory mention black Democrats. And I thought you were a 57-year-old black man. That's what you told me. That's what you told me. Clarence Thomas. Oh yeah, Clarence Thomas. Where we put we can't we gotta put Clarence Thomas. We're gonna put Clarence Thomas in prison. Let's put the whole Supreme Court in prison. We just put the whole Supreme Court, all of them, all right, all of them, allowing that man to get back on the ballot because after he led an insurrection, that prison. Come on now, prison. Tim Scott. We're gonna put Tim Scott in the primary category. All right. Yeah, we got Pelosi. Moskowitz. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna stop there. We will add. I'll add Josh Hawley. That's right. Josh Hawley be on there with his fucking looking like a commander. Josh Hawley looked like central casting for Commander of Gilead. That is where you. Where are the MAGA hats? All right, look. I came up. We came up with the idea yesterday. All right, so we're gonna get some time. But the MAGA hats, that's gotta happen. That's definitely gotta happen. The MAGA hats. KK Caroline. Ooh, that's a good one. Where do we put KK Caroline? Caroline definitely want to prosecute defamation. She get a lot of defamation, right? She can get defamation. Defamation. Oh yeah, we can get that. We can get that right there. Linda A1 Sauce McMahon. Children have A1 in their schools now. Children have A1. Oh God. Ted Cruz. Yeah, we're gonna primary Ted Cruz. Now Byron Donald, honestly, I'm gonna let the wolves go after him, okay? I'm gonna let the wolves go after Byron Donald. I'm gonna be straight up. I'm gonna let the wolves go after Byron Donald. Should I put Shannon Sharp on this list? Nah, I'm gonna let the wolves, they gonna go after Byron Donald for sure. They getting them. After that town hall yesterday, Oh no, they will be lining up. They will be lining up to spend that one. I'm telling you right there. They can't wait to spend that one. After that town hall where he said, that's... So, that is good. That is good. So we'll stop the list there. We'll add to the list tomorrow. We'll add some more people to the list tomorrow. All right? And we'll just keep growing this list. You know what I'm saying? And then when it's time, then we'll have it on file. And then we'll just slip that right to whoever needs it, and we go ahead and take care of all these people. So, yeah. I'll be honest. So today is the funeral for Pope Francis. So that is I believe that has been shown all over. You know what I mean? I'm obviously not going to play videos from that because I don't want to put a dead body on the live. But I gotta say, JD Vance ain't beating them allegations. JD Vance ain't beating them allegations. I'm gonna be real. He is not beating them allegations one bit. Oh, it's the funeral. So what? Okay. So there there are people who are, first of all, for starters, Marjorie Taylor Greene celebrated. Of course, you know what I mean. Butch Body, of course, she celebrated. The leader of the largest church is over here. What she tweeted? She said, "Evil left the world today," and so that stoked the conversation of the fact that there are actually right-wing MAGA cardinals. You know what I mean? United States cardinals who are very heavily conservative, right-wing, that have essentially, in their words, put together a sort of a team, a plan in preparation for this moment. All right, they have that. They've said that they have been waiting for him to die for a while. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it's ironic that they would start putting these things out there after Small Pants Vance goes and shakes his hand. I swear to God, that was some. I swear to you, that had to be some stuff like, what was it? Let me see. Let me see if I can go to my. Let me see if I can go to my. Let's see if I can go to my story here. Where's if I can find this video on my story? There. This here we go. What is it? James Franco. That what was it? Let me try to find that. That probably people are saying he was doing that. He had that handshake and he had the little that thing on his hand. That thing on his hand. The strip where he had that little poison strip. That's what they said he had on his hand, and that's what got to the Pope. That's what they're saying. That is what they are saying. They're saying that he had that strip on his hand, and he. Let me see if I can find the clip. Yeah, that's what they said. They said he was rocking. They said he was rocking one of these right here. They said JD Vance was rocking one of these. Look, I said this is JD Vance right there. JD Vance go to meet the. I seen a few videos like this. They like JD. I seen a few videos. They just like, oh here, Mr. Poe. I'm just like, oh that's exactly. I'm like, oh that's exactly what that was. Oh that's exactly what that was. It's for real. And then he just did an interview today, I think, because they asked him about what happened. They asked him about what happened. Now, mind you, this person is supposed to be a recent convert to Catholicism. They say that he, they say that he, here we go, reaction. But here, he spoke about it too. And I mean, he spoke about it. I'm telling you, he ain't beating them allegations. I'm telling y'all. This is going to follow him for the rest of his life. It's going to follow him for the rest of his life. Hands down. He's not planning to attend the funeral. Oh, really? Okay. Here we go.
Yeah, I've thought a lot about that. I mean, it's...
And you were maybe one of the last officials to meet with him before he died.
Yeah, I've thought a lot about that. I mean, it's pretty crazy, actually. And obviously, when I saw him, I didn't know that he had less than 24 hours still on this earth. I think it was a great...
Not until I poisoned him.
But, I think he saw a lot of people. I think he affected a lot of lives. And I try to just, remember that I was lucky that I got to shake his hand and tell him that I pray for him every day because I did and I do.
What does it feel like
Oh, really? Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, really? Oh, really? He literally just said, I didn't know it was his last day on earth, but it's a blessing. Are you crazy? I'm gonna tell you, there are hundreds of millions of people that would not call this a blessing. And then he has this right here.
So I'm not currently planning to attend his funeral. I'm not currently planning to not attend his funeral. We just haven't really thought that much about when his funeral is going to be and who's going to attend. So I'm not currently planning to attend his funeral. I'm not currently planning to not attend his funeral. We just haven't really thought that much about when his funeral is going to be and who's going to attend from our government. I mean, let me just say a couple of words about the Holy Father. Obviously, I was able to see him very briefly the morning of Easter Sunday. I knew he was very ill. I didn't realize how sick he was. The thing that I will always remember Pope Francis for is that he was a great pastor. People on the margins, poor people, people suffering from diseases, they saw in Pope Francis an advocate and I think a true expression of Christian love. So we're very saddened by it. Obviously, our condolences to the Catholics all over the world, but especially back home who loved and honored the Holy Father.
What does it feel like knowing you were...
Yeah, he might have, I mean, he,
before he died?
Yeah, what does it say? I thought he was in India. I mean, he's giving that talk on a tarmac. He's standing on a tarmac, saying that. So he's either still in India, coming back from India, wherever that interview is happening. He is standing on a tarmac. So, please hide Modi. I'm telling you right now. Because the Dalai Lama he's not in India. The Dalai Lama, the Dalai Lama, that's not China. But yeah, whoever, just hide the spiritual, please, whoever, keep your spiritual leaders away from JD Vance, all right? You saw how he was talking about that one, the bishop, remember right after Trump got inaugurated? And that bishop was like, hey man, can you be nice to poor people? And JD Vance was sitting there like he was making more faces than the president was. This dude never gonna beat them allegations, all right? Never. And I'm telling you, there's something ain't there in the mind. Something ain't there. Something is not there. This dude is quite, and he always looks sweaty. You know what I mean? I don't trust them people who always look like real sweaty and greasy all the time. You know what I mean? That's what he looks like. That's what he looks like, and it's really disturbing. You know what I mean? Y'all know them people? They just always look greasy. I can't describe it any other way. It's just like no matter what situation you put them in, they look like, quite literally, like they just look like sweaty and greasy and just like ugh. You know what I'm saying? That's what he looks like. I'm just like, I can't. It's just very weird. I just can't get with that. You know what I mean? That's all. That is all. That's how you look when you're working hard. No, okay. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's working hard. Working hard. It's hard work, and you got to travel the world, and you know what I mean? You got to travel the world and assassinate world leaders. That is hard work. I tell you what, traveling the world and assassinating spiritual leaders, that is definitely hard work, okay? Hard work. Yes, also, did y'all know he changed his name? Just random. I know that's random. I just know that's random to think about, but he changed his name. Actually, at some point. His born name is James Donald Bowman. And then he changed his name to James David Vance. Something ain't right with this dude. I'm gonna be honest. Something ain't right with this dude. I'm gonna be real. I didn't 4 or 5 times. Yeah, something ain't right. No, something's up. Something ain't right. You ain't changing your name that many times. I mean, you ain't changing your name that many times unless some. Thank you, Mocha Lisa. You beat me to it. You beat me to it. I need to. He can't vote. I don't think this is safe. He can't vote. Can't vote. What? That's not your birth certificate. Your birth certificate says what? Can't vote. You know what I mean? JD Vance can't vote. Chrissy Noem about to get shipped at it. She still ain't got no. Does anybody know if Chrissy Noem has got her documentation back? Do you know? Because I feel like by now she should, without a doubt, be in El Salvador. Okay, I feel like that's without a doubt she should be in El Salvador right now. She ain't got her identification. What's happening right here? These people trying to get the audacity, trying to get the SAVE Act passed, and you don't even you gonna suffer from. That's Marco Rubio trying to get rid of birthright citizenship. 2 parents who are, even though he's a product of birthright citizenship. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? This whole idea that these people are transparent and honest and have our best interest at heart and looking out for everybody's the morals and trying to be like that. And what? Every last one of them does not live up to the standards that they are trying to hold the rest of the American people to. Every last one of them. Every last one of them is a DEI hire. Every last one of them does not live up to the. Actually, they're not DEI hires because DEI is a good thing. Every last one of them is unqualified to do what they do. Every last one of them. And so it's just when you put a bunch of clowns in the circus, this is what you get. This is what you get. There's no other way around it. But yeah, he is not. I'm telling you, them allegations. That's That's gonna follow him the rest of his life. You know what I mean? It is, whether he likes it or not. You are the man who unalived the Pope now. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can do to change that. There's nothing you can do to change that. Now, you want to talk about logistics. Oh, I didn't know this, that, and the third. That's just how it's going to be. That's just how it's going to be. There's nothing you can do about it. You know. The cross pendant does not keep, the cross pendant does not keep them from busting hell wide open. And this is something that, again, so we talked a little bit about religion the other day. All right, I talked to you about religion and things like that, especially Christianity in America. It's been perverted so much. I'm telling you, as somebody who spent a lot of time educating myself on like theology and stuff because of my dad and everything and his PhD in theology, that the power of Christianity is not nearly as strong in this country as they make it out to be. All right. And as far as the evangelicals who really put all of their hopes and dreams and belief and personalities into that, it's been so washed with nationalism. It's been so washed with covering up atrocities. It's been weaponized in a way to justify all of the terrible, terrible, inhumane acts that this country has committed for hundreds of years. They've used the Bible to justify it. It is hard to draw real power from that. Hard to draw real power from that, okay? I don't know if anybody has seen Sinners yet, all right? I have not seen the full movie, but I've seen clips and stuff like that from it. And the scene that got me was somebody trying to pray and one of the vampires saying, oh yeah, I know the prayer too. I can pray too. You know what I'm saying? That power is not the same here. It is not the same here, all right? What's being shown up here is very, 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 very dark in a lot of ways, honestly. That's why I get disturbed. When I was showing y'all the picture of the woman painting Trump's face and stuff like that, that sat with me in a very, very like bad way. I lost a lot of sleep over that video. And people might think I'm crazy, but I lost a lot of sleep over that video because if you really learn about these things, you could see there's a lot of dark energy around that. Yes, thank you, Christy. It is I swear to God, I was losing sleep over it. I could feel it deep in like the pit of my soul. I could not could not get, there's something very, very dark about what this man is doing. It's so true. It's something very dark about what this man is doing. All right. It kind of like, if you want to go, that's why I'm saying, it baffles me why people are getting on with it. Baffles me why people are just not, but I'm telling you, there's something really dark going on, Even MAGA at its inception, even MAGA in his first term was not nearly as insidious as what this is now, all right? And it keeps getting more and more insidious and people are just going, Yeah, it was like she had no control over what she was painting. That's what I'm saying. When you looked at her face and you just looked how she looked like she could not stop herself. She looked like she could not escape from that, like she couldn't escape from that mental, it's a mental prison. It is. She couldn't escape from it. And she, look, I'm not gonna pull, actually I can't pull the video up because I honestly, the more I watch, every time I watch it, I truly feel very like disturbed. And it sits with me for a long time because I really believe there's some dark, demonic energy coming off of a video like that. I'm sorry. I can't get, you know what I mean? It's Democratic. Oh, we got a new one. We have a new candidate, Democratic. Michael James, are you Are you not a fan of the commentary in here? Because if we got a new one, welcome to the detox, my friend. Okay. if we got a new one, welcome to the detox. Gregory's in here, okay? Trust me, he's in here. I promise you, he's in here. You say his name a bunch, I'm telling you, he's gonna show up. All right, he's in here. But I think we got a new member for detox, honestly. Yeah. So it's so there was there was just something that's just not right, and I'm telling you, it is really the focus, the hard focus, the push for this like American Christianity that's coming out of this White House. It's not good. It's really not good. The whole anti-Christian bias, task force, all of that, like going after, like that are going to start actively going after other religions. They're going to actively start persecuting other religions. I'm telling you, there's something ain't right. Something is not right. And and look, they, and I mean, look, if we, I don't really know how else to describe it. It leaves me speechless sometimes. It really because I'm telling because I grew up in church, as a lot of Black Americans do. We grow up in church. We grow up learning about the Bible. We grow up learning all of the same stories and things that these evangelicals and these white nationalists, the things that they supposedly learn and live by. We all learn that same stuff. You know what I mean? But then the way it is put into practice is wildly different. The way it's put into practice, the way things are rationalized are wildly different. I have never been, I've never thought of Christianity as a way to rationalize treating people unfairly. You know what I mean? I've never seen as a way to treat people as less than, Now, I will admit that I've grown up in churches and in my church where they talk about homosexuality and that not being something that people agree with. You know what I mean? I had to break myself out of that mindset once I became an adult and started really reading and understanding different contexts in the Bible and how it is not, that book does not condemn homo. You know what I'm saying? But and so we shouldn't be treating people like that. But I'm telling you, it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of effort to break out of something like that and then really start to put your own your own ideas and understand context and stuff. People don't think about how the Bible was written in the context of the time it was written in. That's a big, big thing that gets left out with the whole white nationalist Christian evangelical movement. They don't teach the Bible in the context with which it was written, the context of the time with which it was written. Because I guarantee if the Bible was written in the context of what today's society was, there would be a lot of different things in there. All right? There'd be a lot of different things in there. But I don't think the Bible is is taught in the context of the time that it was written. That was something that and they want to rewrite it. Yes, and they want to rewrite it. Straight pure blasphemy. I mean, you want to talk about woke MAGA, get ready for them to be like, we have discovered another testament. You want to talk about third term, get ready for the third testament. Or you think that's not in the works? You think that's not being discussed somewhere about a third testament? Okay. That's what they tried to make the Latter-day Saints. That was the ultimate goal of the Latter-day Saints. Mormonism, yes, the new Mormonism. That was the ultimate goal of that, was for it to become the official third testament of the Bible. And that third testament was all going to be about how Jesus came to America and turned it into the country that we know today. That is, I only laugh because that's how I process nervous energy. So trust me, I do not take lightly how serious this type of stuff is, and how much of an impact it has on people. And why when you look at people who are hardcore defending what's going on and they don't want to look at the rationale, they don't want to look at the facts, they don't want to talk about how we still need due process, they don't want to talk about how he's wrecking things, they don't want to talk about how he's destroying lives left and right, they don't want to talk about how he's throwing people in prisons outside of the country. There's always, y'all know, there's always this glazed look in their eye. That is control. That is occultism. That is all of that. Hypnotism, yes, every last one of them. They always just like, yeah, it always looks like they're looking past you, you know? And that bothers like that. That's really like crazy. They always seem like they're looking past you, you know? Because they can't see outside of what they have been truly fed over and over and over again. And yes, they do indoctrinate you at a young age. They are upset with these children. They're talking about being indoctrinated by all of these whatever liberal rhetoric and stuff like that. They're upset that they have not been able to indoctrinate the children the way they wanted to. And so now they want to. So now, you know what I mean? They're like, no, we don't want to indoctrinate. No, we want to indoctrinate you with this. You know what I'm saying? That's why all of these young Gen Zers, 18 to 27, I believe, 18 to 25, I'm sorry, are like leaning more Republican, and they're trying to go after younger and younger and younger. That should bother people. You know what I mean? I saw what was going on with the Unfuck America tour. All right? I've been paying attention to what's going on with the Unfuck America tour. And what I don't know if you guys were seeing all the lives that they were doing, because it was like 30 or something creators that went to Texas A&M to try and debate Charlie Kirk specifically, and they ended up being like blocked out because Turning Point funneled some extra money to get them blocked out from having a tent with credentials. And so I thought what they did was it was incredible. They truly pulled every one of Charlie Kirk's like onlookers away from him. You know what I mean? I was like, I thought that was incredible. The only people who were still sitting in front of the Turning Point tent talking to Charlie Kirk were like the hardcore, you know, red hatters, the hardcore ones. You know what I mean? But even they were sliding over to the other place. I was watching the lives all day. So I watched when they first got there, when some of them were getting turned away. I watched how a couple of them got in the line and they weren't allowed to debate and stuff like that. I watched when they first set themselves up over at the amphitheater, and there was like literally like 8 people there. And I watched throughout the night. We were ended in like, it looked like their student union, and there were hundreds of people there listening. You know what I mean? That has to keep happening. I'm sorry. That has to keep happening. And I know that there was a lot of controversy with that tour. I know that the organizer of the tour, she got into a conflict with some creators and stuff like that. She said some very hurtful things. I heard that live, you know. It rubbed me the wrong way. She was very condescending. I get that. You know what I mean? I feel like that she went about that conversation very, very poorly. And that is an issue that we also see on the left, where there are people who want to see change. They want to see progression, but they also kind of want to maintain a hierarchy. We can get into that in another live, you know. But the spirit of what they did, okay? The spirit of what they did and how they instantly got to those kids. And they presented something. Somebody told me, I don't know if you saw a video of one of these guys. He said there was a kid, Turning Point, shirt, red hat, all in on Charlie Kirk. He said, big, you know, the kid came down, huge Charlie Kirk guy. And he said, today was the day I lost respect for him, because I knew you guys were coming and I was excited to see him take you guys on. You know what I mean? I was excited to see my champion, the guy who, you know what I mean, take on all these people and show them why he is the person that I believe in. And he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. That is important. That is important. Whatever's going on with this tour, whatever they're doing, it needs to keep happening. I absolutely think they need to keep happening. They need to follow that man wherever he goes. If they can afford it, if they can make it happen, they need to follow that man wherever they can go. I'm serious. They need to. They need to. And if there are people who can like get involved in terms of like helping contribute to that and allowing that to keep happening, they need to go ahead. Yeah, Charlie Kirk just wanted clips. Yes, he said he just wanted clips. They absolutely. Wherever that man goes, they need to be there. I promise you that is going to make a huge difference. A huge difference. Okay? Yeah, we can help crowdsource funding. Yeah, we absolutely need to keep seeing that happen. And you're talking about Dean and Parker, these guys who are in their young 20s. They are in that younger Gen Z like pipeline. You know what I mean? They are in that age group. And it's like, it's so, you know what I mean? So they talk, you got this man who is, how old is Charlie? Let's see, how old is Charlie Kirk? How old is Charlie Kirk? 31 years old, all right? Dude is literally my little brother's age. Boy, and I'm telling you, he acts like my little brother. I'll tell you what, he acts like my little brother. Yeah, my little brother, I don't know, something about them, them old, there's a little pocket of people in that, like, they're just turning 30 right now. They really got that attitude, like, they know everything. And that's, you know what I mean? But I swear to God, they need to be out there following him wherever he goes. Swear they need to be showing up. Okay? Because if you were in Texas, and Texas A&M is in that's in deep Texas. I've been to Texas A&M, all right? That's in deep Texas, okay? That's in deep Texas. My best friend who passed away back in 2020, if you go on my Substack, you can read that. I tell the story about how he passed away, and I was there, and it's very, very heavy story to talk about. But the cemetery that he was buried in is about 10 minutes away from Texas A&M, and that is in deep Texas. Okay, deep Texas. Like, black people don't walk around alone. Texas, all right. That's where it's at. And for them to be there and to actually have these engaging conversations, to actually be able to, like, and then to create a space and to build a crowd that is quite literally pulling people away from the guy who was supposed to be preaching everything that they believe in. I'm telling you, they need to straight up go wherever he goes. It will dismantle what that man is doing, because he is absolutely creating an alt-right pipeline for children, okay, to start adopting these beliefs, start adopting this thought process, not think of any other options, and then eventually just support the agenda that they're trying to make happen. I think there needs to be more, that needs to continue. That needs to continue. I like the creating dialogue, encouraging critical thinking. Absolutely, because they need to. That has how all of these situations need to go. Because that man absolutely does go around 31 years old. Oh yeah, so you go around 31. You go to colleges, right? You talk to kids and stuff like that who are all just in college and between the ages of 18 to 22, 23. Starting to figure out where they want, what their opinions are of the world and everything. They come to debate you slap them down because you got a little more life experience, or you can cut them off or gaslight them, or just like treat them like children. You know what I mean? And they're not prepared to combat you. Not all of them are prepared to really combat you because they're still starting to figure things out. You know what I mean? Things out. And then people who are actually informed show up. And these kids see that too, by the way. All right. These college kids see that too. They see the informed people showing up. All right. They see the people who are able to have a much higher level of dialogue with the person that they support. They see those people showing up and they go, okay, talk to them. You know what I mean? Seriously, talk to them. Yeah, I want to see you talk to them. And if the ones who support him, they go, yeah, talk to them. let them have it. You know what I mean? Imagine your favorite basketball player is only playing games at high schools. And LeBron James says, you know what? I'm only traveling the country and playing basketball with high schoolers. Actually, high schoolers are damn near NBA players now. But I'm only traveling the country and playing against high school. I am LeBron James. Imagine if that were the case. I am LeBron James, and I will only play against high school basketball players now. All right? That is what I'm going to do. In the prime of my career, I am only going to play against high schoolers. Yes. Come watch me dunk, cross them up, do all that stuff. You know what I mean? I'll travel on my own. And then a group of NBA players go, hey, why don't you get in the game with us? And he's, can't do it. I'm a knee. Can't do it. You know what I mean? I can't. The elbow. I got that elbow. The elbow's not. I can't do it. I can't do it. You know what I mean? When he retired, great. Do it when he retires. I think that'd be awesome. If he did it when he retires, that'd be fun. Jordan was doing stuff like that. He was going and playing basketball after he retired. That's fine. I'm talking about in the prime of his career. Imagine in the prime of his career when he was still in Miami. Imagine if before he took his talents to South Beach, he said, you know what? I'm just gonna go play basketball against high schoolers around the country. That's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna take my talents to high school basketball courts, and that's what I'm gonna play all the time. That is the equivalent of what we're seeing happen with Charlie Kirk. You know what I mean? Is he? If he was exposing the destruction of the Democratic Party, why won't he talk to anybody that aligns with the Democratic Party? Why won't he talk to any informed? He could even talk to Dina Parker. Both of them are in their 20s. You want to keep it? Why don't you talk to two 20-year-olds who actually can have this debate with you? That's it. They're in the age group. That's who you like to talk to. Won't do it. Won't do it. He won't do it. You know what I mean? Look, I'm telling you right now, I went to high school in North Carolina. I've been around a number of future Charlie Kirks, okay? Them dudes again, just like the president, I'm not going to say they're not smart people, okay? But what they lack is they lack an ability to voice their opinion when that opinion is challenged, okay? That is what they struggle with. They can push their opinion out there, but if somebody challenges it, then they're just like, I don't know what to say. And I know I can't gaslight you. I know I can't make you, I can't rate, because that's a big thing they use. You know what I mean? When the conversation is not going their way, they find the one thing they can hook into and make you emotional. That is how every Charlie Kirk interview goes. Every debate. The ones he does on his little show. You know what I mean? When he actually does bring in like somebody who's supposed to be thinking critically or whatever. Like he just debated this very informed black woman not too long ago. And every time they're about to make a real point, cuts them off, brings up something, uses a false equivalency, you know what I mean? History, nuance, context, none of that takes place. None of that takes place. This guy said to one kid, he goes, for 40 years, there was no immigration in this country. Between the 1920s and 1960s, there was no immigration in this country. Are you serious? Are you serious? Okay? 40 years with nobody immigrated to this country. Are you serious? Are you serious? Because I'm going to tell you right now, my American government class, they told me that the largest expansion of Europeans coming to the country actually happened in that time. You know what I mean? The largest expansion of Europeans coming to the country happened and then ultimately Asians started filtering in when the 50s started. So what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? That is not true. You know, you had legislation that was supposed to bring Hispanic people into the country just to do agriculture work. You know, 40 years, no immigration. You're insane. You're insane. That's not even possible. It's not even possible. Oop, want some breaking news. Breaking news. One of the first quote unquote, would we call him a do nothing Democrat? According to David Hogg? I'm not sure. Dick Durbin will not seek re-election in 2026. Yeah. Senator Dick Durbin, Democrat from Illinois, announced Wednesday he will not seek re-election in 2026, ending his decades-long congressional career. He holds the position of Senate Minority Whip, the number 2 position in the Democratic caucus, as well as ranking member of the Judiciary Committee. The decision of whether to run for re-election has not been easy. I truly love the job of being a United States Senator, but in my heart, I know it's time to pass the torch. Why aren't more people doing this? What I mean? I can respect that. A little too late though. Dick Durbin is 80. A little too late. Should have happened about maybe 5 years ago, maybe 10. But probably should have happened about 10 years ago. But you know what I mean? But it's time to pass the torch. So I'm announcing today that I will not seek re-election at the end of my term. Durbin, 80 years old, is tied for the 5th most senior member of the Senate, having taken office after his victory in 1996. Now, obviously, I was alive in 1996, but I was in kindergarten, okay? In kindergarten. This man has been shaping policy in this country since I was in kindergarten. You know? Think about that. Think about that. Think about that. That's how a lot of these people are. Born in 1996. My brother was born in 1996. Yeah. So, my brother's entire life, this man's been in office. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, David Hogg was not wrong. He was not wrong. Okay? He's absolutely not wrong. And for the people and of course, Hakeem Jeffries, right? What did I say? Don't want to see him. Don't want to hear him. Don't want to see a tweet. Don't want to hear a voice chat. Don't want to see a live. Don't send me a text message. Don't send me a FaceTime. I don't want to see Hakeem Jeffries in front of a camera ever again. Okay? Gavin Newsom about to get on that list too. Gavin Newsom about to be on that list too. You got Gavin Newsom, you about to be on that list. Okay. Well, Hakeem Jeffries basically said that he would support any incumbent Democrats. He is not interested in this idea of primarying Democrats and getting them out of there. He believes the Democrats are doing good work. He also said, along with Gavin Newsom, that he does not believe the Kilmar-Abrego Garcia is a fight that Democrats should be taking on. He thinks that what is polling well is the economy. What is polling well is telling people that their money is not, they're losing money. And so he wants to kind of stick to that message, even though rights are being taken away. Just like Gavin Newsom, who also echoed that same thing, saying that the Kilmar-Abrego Garcia case is a distraction. Is a distraction. And what Californians should be worried about is the economy. I'm telling you right now, we are worried about the economy. All right? Everybody's worrying about the economy. The economy, that's always going to be something that people worry every single day. People are going to be worried about that. But due process was never something that we were worried about. You know what I'm saying? Until now. That is a bigger issue. That is a bigger issue. Exactly. No due process. Who's going out to shop? What's gonna encourage me to go out and shop at the mall or go anywhere in a public space and shop when I know that because of the color of my skin, I can just be snatched up for no reason? What's gonna make me want to go out and buy stuff? You know what I mean? Why am I interested in the economy when all they have to do is say you fit a description and not just snatch me up and keep me detained. They can take me out of the country. You know what I mean? I got a tattoo. I got a tattoo that says "Stay humble." All right. I bet you they look at that and go "Tren de Agua." Then it's they can literally. That's all they can. Oh, stay humble. Yeah. Tren de Agua. You're out of here. You know what I'm saying? That is where we are now. That's real. That's real. Okay. And I bet you, right? They show this tattoo and then they'll edit. They'll just go. They'll just go MS right up on the top. You'll see it on the bottom, MS-13, right? That's what they do. You know what I'm saying? That is where we are now. That's really happening. That is not hyperbole. They really happening. They don't know who they're looking for. They don't. It's why they're being held in contempt of court. It's why they're about to be held in contempt of court, because they don't know. They admitted they don't know. That is why this whole Kilmar-Abrego Garcia thing is happening. They admitted that he don't know. They admitted they don't know. Yeah, exactly. No, you're out. He's great. Yeah, I think so, right? Green, green has historically been a gang color of the Lucky Charms, I guess. Yeah, the Lucky Charms gang. He's out of here. We've seen him. He's in the Lucky Charms gang. They all wear green. He's out of here. That's all they have to do now. Oh, and the shirt says Black History Matters. Oh, okay. So he's a traitor to the president. That's what it is. So he's a traitor to the president, is what you're saying. What you're saying is he is trying to what you're saying is he is trying to go out and unalive white people on a daily basis because I wear this sweater. You know what, get him out of here. That's how easy it is. You know what I mean? It sounds like a joke, but that's literally what they're trying to be able to do right now. You know what I mean? That's literally what they're trying to do. They don't know. They don't know who they're rounding up. You know what I mean? An immigration lawyer, born and raised in Massachusetts. I saw that. Immigration lawyer, born and raised in Massachusetts. Got a letter saying you need to leave the country. That really happened. Okay? 2 German students who were just on vacation in Hawaii. Just want to take a vacation. I want to go backpacking. Something that a lot of young people do all around the world. They say, I want to go backpacking and travel the world. Deported. Detained, deported. They held a young man, Juan Carlos Gomez Lopez, held him for 10 hours. Okay? Born and raised in the state of Georgia. Detained him. They don't know. All right? They don't know. Quite literally, children, 4 years old, sitting in courtrooms. That is not a joke. That is really happening. Children 4 years old, sitting in courtrooms. All right? Sitting in front of a judge. They don't know. All right? It is random. It is whoever they want. All right? So don't come to me with this whole they don't know what they're doing. All right? They don't. That's what all these lists are for. That's what we need to put this database. We need to make this list. We need to put all this because they don't know. All right? MS-13 literally saying, we don't know who Kilmar Garcia is. We don't know this man. They don't know. So I'm just saying, don't come to me with this he knows what he's doing. He does not know what he's doing. All right? Does not. No, he does not know what he's doing. All right? Especially when it comes to this immigration. And even with all that, these numbers, the reason why it's happening this way, you want to be real about it. The reason why it's happening this way, the no due process, their numbers are nowhere near what they were. They were never going to get close to Joe Biden's numbers. They were never going to get close to Barack Obama's numbers. That was never going to happen. Because you know why? Those guys actually got the criminals out. They were never going to get close to those numbers. And that's what they're wrestling with right now. They're going, oh yeah, we're going to get all these millions of criminals out. Dudes in office, they get the paperwork. Oh, most of them are gone. Most of them are gone. But we made promises. We told people that we were going to start getting rid of all of these millions of criminals that these people in Ohio believe are coming in the southern border that don't know anything about the southern border. People in Indiana living in there don't know anything about the southern border. They just think millions and millions of criminals are coming in. You know what I mean? They don't know anything about what's going on. Okay? We can't look weak. There are people in conservative in MAGA land, conservative forums going, the numbers are not high enough. We're not seeing enough arrests. We're not seeing enough this. You know what I mean? So now they are literally resorting to snatching up anybody they can, getting them out of here, and telling you they're a criminal. So they can meet those numbers that they promise. That is what's happening. Okay? That is what's happening. And it is absolutely not going to just stop at people in the Hispanic community. It's not going to stop at Native Americans. It will trickle over to everybody. Okay? It absolutely will trickle over to everybody. So I just saw a video yesterday. Little boy, young black kid in Lansing, Pennsylvania, I believe. His dad told him to go take the trash out. Dad told him to go take out the trash. Dude is walking to the trash. This kid is he has to be in middle school. Has to be in middle school. Maybe 12, 13 years old. Maybe. If that. We don't even know. Took the trash out. Imagine, I can't even imagine. I tell my son to go take out the trash. And while he's taking out the trash, 10 cop cars swarm him and tell him he fits a description. Puts him in handcuffs. Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? That is where we live right now. That is where we live right now. You're going to sit here and go, they know what they're doing. They have a list. It's not random. They know what they're doing. You are full of shit. Okay? You are. I've been very nice to you, Greg. I've been very nice to you. I've been very nice to a lot of you who are sitting here, coming in here and just trying to troll and be funny and act like this is something. This is not a game. You're full of shit. You don't know what you're talking about. They don't know what they're doing. All right? I'm not okay with this, with all of this whole, oh, it's fine. You know what I mean? Just let it happen. It's go 4 years, ride it out. You know what I mean? They don't know what they're doing. You didn't just ask a question. Don't pull back now. Don't pull back now. You talk very tough for a long time. Don't pull back now. You've been standing on business. I've been letting you do it. There are children sitting in courtrooms. There are children getting snatched up. This is getting serious. All right? This is also a part of the detox. And if you don't like, hey, look, I love that you're here. I love that you're here. Okay? I love that you're trying to learn and trying to figure some stuff out. All right, I get it. I want you to be able to have these conversations. I'm not trying to denigrate you for your vote. But to sit here and say they know what they're doing, they have a list and they got to figure it out when they admitted they don't know what they're doing, when they admitted they made the clerical error. It's not okay. It's not okay. All right? Sorry, it's just not. Not okay. I hope you feel like you got, like, you know what I mean? You feel good because you got to see a liberal crash out. I hope that makes you feel good about yourself and everything like that. But it's not okay. Not okay to see that happen. Tell you what is okay though. Tell you what the people do want. All right? Let me tell you what the people do want. This is what's really important. Okay? I think that we should focus on everybody's favorite game show. That's right. That's right. Who is ready to talk about Tesla time, baby? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Tesla time, baby. All right. Let's get into this. Let's get into this, all right? Because the muskrat had a very interesting day, okay? The muskrat had a very interesting day yesterday. We know that he had the earnings call, the infamous earnings call that where he had to basically lay out what has been going on with his business, all right? Now, I did not get to this yesterday, but overall, they have lost 71% of revenue. 71% of revenue. 71%. I undersold it. I honestly thought it was closer to 50. I undersold it. They said it is 71% across the board. Woo, woo, woo. Man. Now the stock price is up today. The stock price is up today. It took a jump because he got on the earnings call and he's been making it known that he's going to get out of the politics. He's going to get out of that and try to focus more on Tesla. So you have people influxing money into the stock to see what is going on, but it ain't gonna help. It's not gonna help. I'm sorry. It's not gonna help, my man. This train has already gone too far. It's already off the tracks, okay? It's already off the tracks. Let's look at the last 3 months of Tesla. Look at that, last 3 months of Tesla. Look at that. Look at that. That is the last 3 months right here. All of this, everything from this point right here has been the MAGA wave, the Trump bump, as they call it, okay? This was the free fall that was taking place for the last 3 months, and it was right around March 10th, 11th, where they did that commercial. And since then, everything past this point. See, I'm glad that it's been at least a little bit of a little over a month now since that has happened. So now we can actually see the real now we can actually see how much impact that the right wing has had on saving this company. And from what it looks like, yes, he took a big hit today. People are still trying to put money into this stock, okay? You got to understand, when you have a brand, Tesla is now a brand that people are willing to still kind of invest in. You know what I mean? Tesla's a brand that people are still willing to buy when it's low for the hope that they can capitalize on it growing at some point. You know, Elon Musk still has fans. You know what I mean? He still has believers in him. All right. The vast majority of the country and the world may not be on board with him, but there are still people that believe in what he's doing. You know what I mean? And that is why I believe the real slaughter of this stock is going to start coming in the, not just the second quarter, because we're moving into the second quarter for him, you know, but definitely third and fourth quarter of this year. I believe we're going to, the dips that you really are going to want to see are going to start coming then. All right. A lot of what's going on, like the tariffs has not really fully been into effect yet. The situation with the White House has been back and forth. He's pulled back a little bit with all of his Doge talk and everything as far as dismantling the government. He's kind of pulled back and being in the public eye altogether, you know, doing his best, I guess, to ride out the storm. And hopefully people forget that he contributed to like hundreds of thousands of federal workers being fired, selling our data to Russia, literally giving it, and everything like that. This whistleblower case is kind of getting louder. You know what I mean? I think it was this opinion that it was going to be like a 1 or 2 day thing. It's kind of still hovering around what's going on. And the Canadian government is still in the midst of an investigation for him manipulating the tax credits that they gave him for selling electric vehicles. So there is still a lot of there's still a lot of bullets coming his way. You know what I'm saying? No pun intended. I don't mean that in a way of like, I'm talking about for the business, you know, before anybody, I know, you know, because, you know, before you clip that and that gets sent to Starlink, there are a lot of things coming his way that can be very, very detrimental for this company going forward. But you have people that are still holding on. All the analytics say that you should hold on to the stock. Nobody is saying, you know, they're trying to refrain from people selling. Because if they start selling off in mass, oh, it's real. It's a real big deal. That's what he's trying to avoid. He's also tried to put out this idea, these stories that like, you know, he's coming back to focus on Tesla. But, you know, as far as the stock price, he's not worried about it. He is what, you know, and so it's, going to be back and forth. You know what I mean? Till he is bankrupt, it's not enough. I know. I'm with you. I'm with you. Okay. The people will be in this fight until they see it all fall apart. You know what I mean? Now that once after May, get ready for what that's going to look like. Okay, the Muskrat post his time in the White House working Doge when he's going to actually be trying to be out here. Well, he's going to be out here trying to appeal to the left again. I promise you, he's going to be out here trying to re-ingratiate himself with the customer base that he had before. He's going to be out here trying to make that happen. All right. It's already starting. It's already starting little. These things rollouts happen. They don't just happen in music. Rollouts happen in marketing all the time. Right now, he has been kind of quiet, and now he's been sort of coming out and lightly criticizing the president, lightly criticizing some of the issues, lightly criticizing some of the things he does not agree with in terms of the tariffs and everything like that, you know, not going too heavy because he does not want the MAGA backlash, but not sticking with the rhetoric because the bulk of his customer base has walked away from him. All right. But yes, the North remembers. You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. The North does remember. OK. And we are watching. We are absolutely watching. Now, another situation that I have been paying attention to, of course, as you all know, is Target. All right? Target. Because they are down to, look at that. They are down to, where are we at here? $92 a share. Ooh-wee. Let's go to the analysis for Target because I want to look at what their earnings have been, their earnings and their market share has been. Oh, y'all are gonna love this. Oh. By the way, they have an earning announcement coming up too. They got a doomsday clock on them too. 28 days before their earning announcement. Skinny Al, he ain't doing nothing for it. Skinny Al ain't helping them. They have 28 days before they have to make an earning announcement. All right. Look at their performance right here. They've been up 2% over the last 5 days. I don't know what that's all about, but last month, 11%. Since the last earning call, 20. Last 6 months, this is this is Big Lots. This is Hobby Lobby. This is Kmart territory now. That's where we are with this store. They've officially transitioned into Big Lots, Hobby Lobby, Kmart territory. And that's not good. Oh, that's not good. Okay. You don't want that. You don't want that. You do not want that. When you become one of them stores that's just like empty, just like empty all the time. All of a sudden, they nothing. The aisle, the aisles. None of the aisles make sense anymore. You know how them stores get. When they get into that territory. You just anything is in any aisle. That's what starts happening. Excuse me, can you tell me where the car stuff is? Can you tell me where I can get the cleaning supplies? Yeah, that's over in electronics. That's where that. Oh, sorry, I pulled it away. That's what's about to happen. That's where you're gonna be. You know what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong. I used to love shopping at a Big Lots, or back in the day. Back in the day when Big Lots really became the clearance. But man, I'm telling you, you could just walk in. You just walk in and take it. Oh, getting in that dollar. Oh yeah, it's about to get. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. It's getting very Dollar General up in there. Dollar Tree. You know what I'm saying? It's about to be Dollar Tree. That is where they are at right now, man. And there is no recommendation of buying the stock. There's no recommendation of holding. They are saying, they are saying buy because it's low. They're saying buy the stock because it's so low right now, but earnings are down and they're just going to go down. You know what I mean? Target is probably going to have to, in my opinion, the only way to save this company, they're going to have to sell. Most likely, in my opinion, they're going to have to sell to a black conglomerate. They are. They're going to have to sell to a black conglomerate and just allow that to essentially fix what's going on. The economic boycott that black people have engaged in since this man has inaugurated is definitely being felt, and it's being felt across a number of different businesses and retailers and stuff like that. They were talking about it on ABC News. They brought it up now on ABC News that a lot of people in the black community have decided to pull back on their spending in these major retailers, and they are all feeling it. Okay, all feeling it. Again, don't underestimate black buying power. Okay. Buying power. I think we have, just in our community alone, we have close to $2 trillion in buying power in this country. Yeah, you're close to $2 trillion in buying power. Just us. That is leverage. Okay? That is leverage. The people who actually spend money, put money back into the economy the most is us. All right? Is us. We have that leverage, and we forget about that. I think that gets forgotten a lot of times. You know what I mean? Especially in times of, I guess you can call them times of peace, or times of low racial tension and stuff like that. We can forget the type of power that we really have in this country because they do their best when tensions are not so high to slowly but surely minimize what type of impact we really have on society. But the truth is, our spending power in this country is very, very powerful, okay? Very, very powerful. Businesses have been raised and businesses have fallen purely off of our dollar, Cadillac, what Cadillac is very supports Republican, but Cadillac, black people saved it. Pepsi, black people saved it, It is very, very true. So, I mean, it's like we have to remember that that is the power that we should be wielding right now. Yeah, honestly. Yeah, Hennessy. I believe that was Hennessy another company going under before they started marketing to black people. Yeah, like we have got to use it. We've got to make sure that we don't forget the type of don't forget the type of power that we have. You know what I mean? Very, very, very important. Amazon, they've been trickling down. They've been trying to hover. Amazon is getting into like a little stagflation thing. They got a bit of a surge not too long ago, but they are kind of hitting into like a little bit of a what do we say, like a plateau, if you will. You know what I mean? It's getting very similar to the muskrat for them as well. But that is the big takeaway from what we should learn, especially when it comes to test of time, especially when it comes to what our impact is in the economic sector. All right, we have a lot of buying power. Our money is very, very vital to this economy. Okay, very, very vital to this economy, and without it, things fall apart. Things absolutely fall apart. If you enjoyed this live, thank you so much for hanging out here. I think we got all the way up to like maybe about 150 people at one point. So it was a good live. I thank you. If you don't follow me already, please follow me. Please follow my second account too, Daddy Lime. All right. Daddy Lime, Daddy Lime. All right. I would like to grow that account. I want to get that account over 10,000 followers ideally, I'd like to do it by my birthday. You know what I mean? My birthday is coming up. My birthday is May 27th. So I would ideally like to be able to push that page up, you know what I mean, by my birthday. If it doesn't happen by my birthday, I'm not going to be like upset about it. But I think that would be like the birthday gift that I would want for myself. You know what I mean? Make my second page, Daddy Lime, my dad content page, get over 10,000 too. You know what I mean? That is the goal. You join my Substack? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yes, I am on Substack. If you want to join the Substack, if you want to get a paid subscription, I have some think pieces that I've written on there. Yes, I am a Gemini. Yes, I am. A Gemini, yeah. You know what I mean? Tough time for the Geminis right now. You know what I mean? Tough time for the Geminis. Now the Geminis are wilding out. Some of the Geminis are making us look bad. I gotta be honest, there's some Geminis out there really making us look bad. But I've always been I've always been proud of that. You know what I mean? So yeah, Trump is a Gemini. Xi Jinping is a Gemini, by the way, if anybody knew that. Xi Jinping is a Gemini. John F. Kennedy was a Gemini. But yeah, May 27th, that is when my birthday is. June 11th, June Geminis, what's up? That's what's up. That is what I think what I would like my goal to be, is to grow my second page to over 10,000 by my birthday. I might make another video talking about that too. But if you like to do that, that is kind of what I would encourage people to do. And then this page is very close to 100,000. I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to do some type of celebration when this page crosses 100,000 likes, when it crosses 100,000 followers, because I truly never imagined I'd get this many followers on a page. So I'm just very excited about the potential for what social media can bring for my life, my family's life, the impact that I can have on people around the world. You know what I mean? That was another thing I took from the tour, the Unfuck America tour. All of those people are content creators just like I am. You know what I mean? And whether they realize it or not, they've done something that it really inspires me. You know, I feel inspired. I feel a lot like there is like hope in these dialogues. You know what I mean? I feel a lot like there is something that can be drawn, and we can all find some common ground in these dialogues. You know what I mean? Even if they aren't always friendly, even if they aren't always in the best of lights. You know what I'm saying? But there is somehow, some way, some way, you know what I mean? I think we're going to find a way back to being able to understand each other on some level. You know what I'm saying? It's all you can do. Keep hope alive, Danny. Yeah, that is my job. My job is to keep hope alive. You know what I mean? And if you guys are struggling with that, I understand. But I'm always going to be here to try and keep hope alive and keep trying to
keep you in a positive mental space. I feel like that is just as important to what we're dealing with this administration is the mental space. You know what I mean? Would I join them at an event? Sure. I mean, yeah, I would. You know what I mean? I'd join them. You know what I'm saying? But that's I don't think I don't know if my page is big enough, but I guess all the creators had different, they have different followings and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I would join them, but those people are very credentialed. You know what I'm saying? Those people have a lot of they all have a lot of knowledge that I think is even greater than mine when it comes to politics and things like that. You know what I mean? So I definitely, when people tag me and stuff with all these other creators, I saw somebody tag me, Aaron Parnas and Don Lemon. They were these are who I go to for my news. And I was like, who we? Yeah, I started sweating like JD Vance. I was like, oh God. Oh, okay. I did. I started sweating like JD. I was like, me, Aaron, and Don Lemon. Oh, okay. I started sweating, I'll be honest, but it's not lost on me how much this stuff means to people. It's not lost on me how much this stuff helps people. So I just do my best to keep walking in that purpose, I guess. The JD sweats. I like that. Got the JD sweats. That we're gonna call them the JD sweats. Oh man. The JD sweats. I like that. I like that. JD sweats are actually JD sweats are actually sweats that don't come down past your knees. That's what they are. JD sweats. Get you Are you tired of wearing sweatpants and your shins get hot? Get you some JD sweats. Get you some JD sweats. That's the name of this one. I know that the live from yesterday didn't go up. I had some technical difficulties. I'm gonna get it up today, and then I'll get this live up as well. But yeah, today's live is gonna be called JD Sweats. So be on the lookout for that. All right. If you did not get into the live at the start, you missed any part of it, or you just did not see any of it. I download these and then I put them on my YouTube channel. So go to Danny Lime on YouTube. Go maybe give it another what time is it? It's 11 o'clock my time. Give it another hour or two. Both podcasts, both lives, the live from today and the live from yesterday will be on my YouTube, so you can go ahead and listen to them at your leisure. All right. So other than that, thank you guys so much for coming in. We will obviously I'll be making more videos. Keep a lookout for that. And Italy, international. I like that. Keep a lookout for the videos and everything like that. Thank you for joining the lives. I go live, like I said, at the same time, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And we just try to laugh away some of the chaos. That's really all we can do here, And I want you to know, Greg, I still love you, brother. All right. I want you to know that. Okay. I was upset. I got upset. You know what I mean? I don't regret anything that I said, but I want you to know I still love you. Okay. So everybody, you guys be safe, and I will talk to you later.